Good afternoon. My name's Lytle. I'm 104, Section 5 at Northern Kentucky University, spring semester of 2013. Part of our curriculum is a video book review. I read the book Essential 55 by Ron Clark. Basically, the book breaks the golden rule down into 55 additional classroom rules that Mr. Clark had, and it has in his classes throughout the years. He'd go over all these rules the first day of class, make sure that all the students were aware of what he expected of them, what they could expect of him. And it sets a foundation and a great building block for students so that they know where their limits are, what they can, where they can go for help, what they can and can't do. Some of the rules were such as to don't disrespect others by hand gestures or body language, rolling your eyes, giving a tisk sound when you're being reprimanded or when you're called upon for an answer. It's a blatant sign of disrespect to look people in the eye when you're talking to them, to show that you are actually paying attention to what they have to say and that you care. Other rules such as asking a question when asked a question. For instance, he had students who were trying to get into a pretty established middle school in Harlem where they only took a handful of kids each year, and he had like 12 students who interviewed for it. It was a full process, an application and interview, and he said that all of his students made it because of the respect that they showed the interviewers. Every time they were asked a question of like what kind of books have they read, they'd answer the question and then they would reply back, well, what kind of books are you interested in reading? Giving a whole different personal atmosphere and connection to the conversation and interview process, making the interviewers feel like these children actually cared and didn't just want to get into the school to get in. Another one that I thoroughly enjoyed was his random act of kindness. One of his classrooms, they were talking about newspaper ads and classified ads. Within this process, they put a local ad into the paper, got some responses back to a question they had asked. Eventually, they kept this going for a while, and they built into statewide, then nationwide, then it went worldwide. When it went worldwide, they said that they received in like 7,000 responses. They had ambassadors, they had the president, they had different countries' dignitaries answering their reply because it was through the USA Today. Eventually, with all this, they were given the opportunity to go to Washington, D.C., sit down and meet President Clinton and his wife, Hillary Clinton, as a reward. So Mr. Clark went through and he went and raised the money to get these students into being able to go. Hotels and airfares and planning a long field trip out of it. Another portion of the random act of kindness is he was put up for a Teacher of the Year award, and the award ceremony was in Los Angeles. Well, he didn't want to just take one or two of his students. He wanted to take all of his students. They were the ones that inspired him to be this great teacher. So, he went through and he had received donations from different people and different businesses to raise the money to take his children with him. He told the children that, and to them it was a shock, and it was a great experience that somebody cared that much for them to take them, across country to go do this award ceremony. Definitely a great book to be familiarize yourself with, especially becoming a teacher, trying to get into the teaching field, to be able to bring some of these rules into the classroom to have the foundation for your students. A lot of great ideas, a lot of inspiring points to grow on. You can even, a lot of these you can actually mold a little bit more to your personal style. But in all, it's a great book, well read, or well worth the read, easily read, and recommend all aspiring teachers to pick it up. Thank you.